There is a commonly used sentiment expressed in political speeches, church sermons, and community rallies. The salvation of America and the re-strengthening of the nation begins with the re-strengthening of the American family. Many say that with that goal in mind and say that it needs to be a special focus and it needs to be given to the American dad of the 21st century. I'll ask these three fathers on the Get to the Point panel tonight about their thoughts on those perspectives. As for me, I'm going to kick off the show by talking about how I see the dad dynamic playing out in the national conversation these days throughout America. Now, many of you are not really thinking about Father's Day until around the third Sunday of June. That's when most of you will be looking to get your favorite guy his favorite cologne, perhaps a steak dinner, or maybe a new tie he can wear to church or to work. Yet, more folks around the nation are talking about fathers and actually the lack of American fatherhood more and more. Some of this is warranted, while some of it, well, you decide. Recently, both a former governor and a current presidential candidate blamed the lack of present fathers in Baltimore City as the primary cause for the rioting scene after the Freddie Gray tragedy and subsequent riots. Not the ongoing issues of police tensions in Baltimore or the generational poverty found in the charmed city, but fatherlessness. When people bring up the troubling amounts of black-on-black crime and shootings in cities such as Pittsburgh, Chicago, Memphis, and New Orleans, the number one culprit for this condition to some pundits? Daddy. Not the lack of good schools or life-changing opportunities in some regions of our nation, but the lack of everyday fathers in the lives of more American young people. The details may change from story to story, from Columbine to Franklin Regional, from Virginia Tech to Sandy Hook, but the narrative remains the same. There is an increase in violence in America across our diversity. At the same time, there is a decrease in young people getting married, young women having children with their husbands by their sides, and fathers spending quality time with their children, especially while we navigate today's harsh economic times. Yet, if we are ever to overcome this generation's watershed moment of social upheaval, it's fair to ask the question and pursue its answer. What is the proper and necessary role of the American father in today's America? And if we are serious about pursuing the solutions prompted by that question, we are forced to shift our collective mindset in order to shift the social paradigm of fatherhood in today's America. For example, should we restructure our workforce model so that more fathers have guilt-free vacation time to spend with impressionable sons so that the ills of gender equality, date rape, and domestic violence could be dealt with proactively, not reactively? Should we reposition the focus of our family courts so that the fathers are fully embraced as parenting partners, not as ATM machines to be dealt with punitively, so that the concept of the fourth commandment, honor your mother and your father, can be a part of most children's lives, even if the reality of a nuclear and traditional family won't be? Will we empower the deeper definitions of manhood, love, responsibility, courage, and persistence over the constant images everyone is bombarded with in the media about manhood, that it's only about his money, his virility, and of course, his popularity? Actually, manhood is more than about all that. It's about one's legacy than it is about any of those things. And that goes back to our youth, the ones suffering from this crisis in fatherhood. The American youth of today requires a different level of love, guidance, and parenting to deal with the complexities of modern society due to technology, global competition, ongoing military conflicts, and the 24-hour news cycle. Thus, they require a different type of father. Not one from back in your daddy's day, but one that makes sense for today. My father said something to me when I was young that has stuck with me throughout my life. Every day is Father's Day. One Sunday in June doesn't change that. If we believe that during our complaints about the breakdown of the American family, it's time that we put that into place every day as we restore our American society.